So people always ask me, like, do you really always carry that many tools? And when it gets displayed like this, it certainly looks like a lot more than it is. But all this stuff fits in this small little bag. Specialty tools and stuff I keep in that bag. It's really not that bad. I don't keep a whole lot of tools in my garage. But one thing I discovered traveling a couple highways over here, I wasn't sure if it was just because I had an old truck or not, but I wanted to see if my bearings are still good. And I've got everything I need to do it on the roadside if I needed to. So, first thing we're going to do, bottle jack, lift up the tire, and always use your safety jack. Alright, one of the things I'm looking for is noise. It sounds good. You can hear a little bit of rubbing, but it's probably just the brake pads. And then you want to check for that slop. And that slop is more slop than I want. Going down the road at 60, that'll give you a good little shimmy. So we're going to disassemble it and see what she looks like. Alright, once you get to this point, this is when you get specialty snap rings to get that snap ring off right there to allow this whole hub assembly to come off. So one thing I can tell you, the spindle bearing is gone because that's too loose. Spindle bearings at the very back of the spindle. We probably won't get there today. I'm just looking at these bearings. This is really necessary for four-wheel drive. And if you drive higher speeds of four-wheel drive, then you probably get a vibration just due to your shaft is loose. It also will primarily wear out your hubs quicker. So I decided to look at the back part of the bearing as well. And I believe I went through this before when I was doing my brakes, but there's a banjo nut here. I'm using a it's like a 1/4 hex. Once you get this banjo nut out, just sort of a stop pin for this bracket, which you can drive out. Like that. It's a friction fit bow over the top that keeps the calipers on there. So once you get the caliper off, you can access the bearings in here. Give you kind of a up close look at what I'm looking at. There's the outside bearing, and then I'm going to pull this off, and on the other side of this rotor is the other bearing. And these take a lot of abuse in four-wheel drives. If you're going through water, crossing rivers, you know, they need to have their servicing done. So we're going to pull it apart and see what we can see. Alright, so here's the back. There's a seal here that I won't be taking off. This is just exploratory to see what I need to replace. But if I were to rip that seal off, I'd have to have a new one to put back. Back bearing is behind there. That's what rides on the spindle. And as you can see, I have two really nasty grooves in the back of my my rotor here. Non-serviceable. It looks like it's just about to go into the center portion of the metal, which is not good. So we'll be replacing that. Here's the race, basically the cone where the other one fits in, and so those inner and outer get sandwiched with those nuts we took off on the spindle housing, and that's what free rides. And then caliper behind that is what holds your brakes, and there you go. The bearings don't appear to be off at all. Still a little dirty. I gotta get some more brake cleaner out here. But the bearing surfaces and everything seem fine. I'm gonna clean it up, put some new grease on it, and put it back together, and then we're gonna go order some parts. One thing for the do-it-yourselfers is a bearing press greaser, basically. And again, I'm no mechanic, but I'll show you what that does. Gives you an idea. That's all the old nasty grease inside the bearings, and it should be that amber color. So normally you clean this up a little bit more. I wanted to actually show you the difference, so I'm just going to keep pressing that through. But yeah, make sure to pack your bearings, clean them on a regular basis, even if there's no issues. Alright, they do make seal pullers. I managed to get it off with my little EDC pry bar. You know, these aren't meant to be reused, so when you get them out, just throw them away, and make sure that you can get spares. But there's an idea what the back one looks like. I'll get this cleaned up, and we'll take a look at it. Alright, again, got it cleaned up. Didn't see any excessive wear, so we're going to just make sure I got a little extra on the outside. Stick that buddy right down in there. And then, if you saw the old seal, take a look at the new seal here. Isn't she pretty? So, ideally, you want to be real careful with this. They make special bearing seaters, but I just take the same socket I had before. So basically, we're just doing reverse order. There's a washer in there that's going to press the bearing up against its housing, basically. Then there's a nut that goes on the spindle, and you're not really going to lock this nut tight, because then you wouldn't be able to move it very easily. You want it so that it moves free without movement, and I generally don't get super tight on this. Thing here, I'll show you. If you get too tight using like the socket, it still moves pretty good, but you don't want to smash that up against there. I'm not going to do it because I don't really want to smash the bearings, but you want it fairly tight. But again, you want that to move fairly freely, without a lot of slop. Sorry for the wind noise. Basically put everything back together in reverse order. I kind of got interrupted there, but what I wanted to do at the end here is, this is all the tools that I used to do that entire job. A, I'm going through and I'm cleaning up all the grease off of them. But B, this is everything I already had in the truck, minus the actual grease thing to repack the bearings. But I do have a small thing of grease, a tube I could use. But if you do a job like this and you use any of your garage tools, at the end decide if you could have done this on your own, or what I do is I try to do it all out of the bag that's behind my seat. And if there's something I discover that I used from my garage to get the job done, then guess what, I'll put that or a version of that in there. And I didn't make it harder on myself to do it this way. These were the tools necessary to get the job done, to repack and put new seals on your bearings. And if you guys have any questions or you like seeing this kind of stuff, I do have some other projects I'll be doing, so I guess I'll film some of it. But yeah, let me know. Thanks.